Hey guys, and welcome back to the Grow Your Brain YouTube channel. Today I'm going to read Giraffes Can't Dance. Now, I would like you to think about something that you can do. Think about 2 things you can do, 3 things you can do. Now, think about something that you would like to learn how to do and how it would feel if someone told you you can't do that because you're too short, or you're too tall, or you're too clumsy. You're a boy or you're a girl. How would that make you feel? In this story, someone tells Gerald that he can't dance because he's a giraffe. So we're going to find out if Gerald ends up learning how to dance and how it made him feel when they told him that he couldn't. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees, but when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Fell down. Gerald's clumsy. I can relate. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. The warthogs started waltzing and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. The chimps all did a cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked toward the floor, but the lions saw him coming and they soon began to roar. "Hey, look at clumsy Gerald," the animals all sneered. "Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird." Let's pause. How do you think Gerald feels in that moment? Something that he longs and wants to do so badly, but everyone tells him or is laughing at him thinking that he can't do it. Do you think he's going to give up? Let's find out. Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. "They're right," he thought. "I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot." So he crept off the dance floor and he started walking home. He never felt so sad before, so sad and so alone. And no one else seems to care that Gerald is so sad walking away. They're just going right back to dancing. This little guy right here might be wondering how he feels. Then he found a little clearing and he looked up at the sky. "The moon can be so beautiful," he whispered with a sigh. "Excuse me," coughed a cricket who'd seen Gerald earlier on, "but sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song." Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to. Do you think Gerald's going to feel the music and be able to dance? With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying and his tail was swishing round. He threw his legs out sideways and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt up in the air. Gerald felt so wonderful, his mouth was open wide. "I am dancing, yes, I'm dancing, I am dancing," Gerald cried. The bat looked shocked. He's like, "What?" Then one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle. We must be in a dream. Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen." "How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how." But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. "We all can dance," he said, "when we find music that we love." And that is true. Or just the right person to encourage you, like the cricket encouraged Gerald. I really like that book because it tells us that just because someone says we can't do something doesn't mean that we aren't capable of doing it. I always tell my kindergartners when they start kindergarten that they're going to learn how to do so many things that they think are impossible and hard. But by the end of the year that we're doing so much more than they could have ever imagined, especially reading books and writing stories. So I hope you thought about some things that you can do and some things that you can't do, even if you think they're silly, because we're going to do a little writing activity. Now I'm going to use this sketch paper and a marker. You can use pencil and paper and whatever you had. Parents, I found these activities on Pinterest online. You can do find various different things that you can do along with this book. But this is called The Power of Yet. So the power of yet. And there's even things as a grown-up that I still want to learn how to do. So I'm going to list 2 things that I can do. And my third thing is going to be something I can't do yet. So I'm going to write. I'll pick a different color for my. So what it will say is, I can ... I can ... I can't ... yet. So I'm going to draw little blanks. So one thing that I can do and something that I really enjoy and sometimes a lot of people can't do is cook. It's something that I've learned how to do over the years, and as I've gotten older, I actually started cooking when I was old enough to look over the stove. And I didn't cook by myself, but I helped my grandmother, my mother, my grandfather, whoever would have me help them in the kitchen, and learned as much as I could. And I've carried some of that, of what I've learned, into my adulthood. Something else I can do. I can dance. I like to dance. I might not feel comfortable dancing in a crowd full of people, but I do love to dance. Something I can't do yet, but I really want to learn how to do, is braid my hair. And you might be thinking, that's silly. She's a grown-up. She should know how to do that. But I really don't. I can do a pigtail braid on both sides, but I can't do like the cool waterfall braids I see people do, or braiding like a French braid on myself or something to do. And while I've been home, that's something that I've been trying to learn how to do, but I'm still having trouble with. But I keep telling myself, I can't braid my hair yet, but I'm going to learn how to do that. If I just keep practicing, I can't give up. And I just might not have found the right way for me to do that yet, because the way that I've been watching other people do it just seems kind of confusing to me. But sometimes you just need the right teacher to teach you how to do things. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our story and our little writing lesson at the end. And now I would like to share with you some of the crafts that I found on Pinterest.